is to recognize what your why is, and to remember that at some point you're going to hit your goal and you have to figure out your why again. And this has happened for me at least 4 times in 3.5 years, because my why was to get Wi-Fi at home, and I did. And then my why was to quit my job, and I did. And then my why was to get to NMD to afford some things, and I did. And every time you have to figure out why you're doing it, because it's not going to be the same why that made you start, right? Like now my mom is in the business, and one of my whys is to get her to NMD. Well, she's doing it. I mean, she's amazing. So she doesn't even need me to focus on that. But and then at some point, my why was to get a house and build a family with my husband, and we split up. So that was my 6 months of suck, because I didn't know what to do with it anymore. Okay, and other things happen, but what really happens and what really impacts your business is what's going on in your head. So for me, there were external factors and everything, but the real thing was I didn't have a why. So that's really the engine of all your business. So always make sure that you know your why. So this is my story real quick. Right now I'm back in Italy, building up again. Business is picking up again, and I'm so excited because I feel it's like day one again, and we're building something stronger, and it's amazing. And what I love about this business is that you can always start over. It doesn't matter. It never matters what you have done until today. It doesn't matter. Like, forget what you have done until today. What really matters is what you're going to do today and tomorrow, and you can always start over. Yeah, this is my story. I don't know if you want to ask me some questions. You want me to cover something in particular?
Oh my God, I love your story. And I just love how you really embrace things. And the 3 things that I took from that is remember why you started. And I think that is such a powerful thing to remember, because life is going to happen, right? And things are going to happen. And if we know what our why is and we are really anchored to that why, you know, we might be down for a little bit, but we get back up. And I love that. And I've always admired that about you. Yeah. And embracing the suck, like that's a thing, like, right? You know, and you know, the mindset piece is such an incredible thing. And I just see that light from you, you know, and that mindset that you have, and it's so positive, and you just, you know, you move past things. And I also love what you said, you can always start over. And it's so true. I was stuck at SC for, I don't know, 8 years. And there was just a time that I was like, you know what, I'm done. Like, I want our team to be an NMD team, and I'm just going to have to step it up and get to work. So when it comes to like attracting people to your team, I realize that, you know, you probably have verbiage for different people, right? Or maybe you don't, but what would you say is some of your most successful verbiage to attract team members?
Okay, now I'm going to try to translate it in my head, because again, I have to translate from Italian to English. But okay, so I don't really have a different verbiage for different people, because I really try to attract my people. Like, I don't try to attract people that I wouldn't go out with. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes I do anyway. Like, sometimes they are attracted anyway, and we have something in common that I haven't seen, and they resonate with me for some reason, but not because I'm trying, okay? Mm-hmm. So what I do is I basically try to find new girlfriends, okay? So people I would hang out with. So also I work a lot on social media. I would say 95% of my business was built on social media, because I was so long distance that was the easiest option for me. I go online and I go to groups of, like, Facebook groups of things I'm interested in, or I use hashtags on Instagram about things I'm interested in. And when I see someone and I'm like, oh, I would say hi to her. If I saw her at the bar, I would say hi to her. So then I say hi. That's I use social media, but it's human relationships, right? And it's the same thing when you're building business, like in real life, not on social media. You're really just trying to get to know people and get to know how you can help them. So what I do is, first of all, I try to find my people. I try to attract my people and not everyone. Because if you're trying to attract everyone, you're not attracting anyone. Okay, just be specific, just find your target. Not everyone is your target, that's fine. That's why we are so many, right? So, and then what I do is I just have a conversation, and then I say, hey, guys, I really use just like the GoPro verbiage. That's everything. I record it. That's what I use. I don't know if this is for you. That's my magic. I don't know if this is for you. But would you be open to hearing more about this, about what I do? And then I don't really give a lot of information. I usually just say I have a personal franchise, I have an online business, depending on, and I try to say it in a way that sounds attractive to the person that I'm talking to. So you have to remember that when you speak to someone and you offer the business, or the product, okay, I'm talking about business, but it could be the product. You want to tell them what's in it for them. So just last night, a girl tried to recruit me for her team, and she's like, you would be the perfect person to add to my team. I'm like, that's great, but nobody thinks, oh my gosh, I can't wait to help a perfect stranger to build their business. No one would think that. Like, she didn't tell me what was in it for me. So that's just what you want to remember. So see where their life is, if they want more freedom, if they want more income, if whatever. But tell them what's in it for them. And then just ask them if they're open to take a look. That's really what we do. We're not the message, we're the messengers. So we just want to share information, and we don't want to convince anyone. We want to find people who are interested in what we do and that resonate with us, and give them information so that they can make an informed choice. And we want to do that with as many people as we can. That's just what I do. I keep it pretty simple.
I love it. You're so authentic. That's awesome.
So when you're saying you're sharing what's in it for them, is it like, are you sharing like the bonuses, or, I mean, obviously you're having to get to know them so that you can say like, okay, well, if you want some financial freedom or more time freedom, so you're getting to know them first still, like we all always talk about, right? Okay.
Right. I never talk about bonuses. I never use the words financial freedom or time freedom, because I feel they are so impersonal. So I just say like, hey, I know that you've been working so much, and you just really reminded me of myself 3.5 years ago. And I found this opportunity 3.5 years ago. I started my personal franchise, and then, well, personally, I quit my job, but that was that's my own story. It's not the only option, but I don't know. You just reminded me of myself 3.5 years ago. Would you be open to take a look at what I'm doing? That's it.
That's awesome. Okay. Anybody else have a question? So I have a question. So for people that are really wanting to be successful, people that are really, really going after their goals, what one tip could you give us?
I have two. So one is not fun, and is know your numbers and do your homework because it's a business. So what really helped me to get to my goals was to know exactly what I needed and to work my numbers every day to see exactly where I was at, and to really just fill in the numbers. So exactly, what are you trying to do? You're trying to go to SC. How many orders, how many customers do you need? How many legs? What exactly do you need every day? I remember when I'm a downline to Lauren Lahab. So I remember when I was about to hit an MD. So I'm just gonna tell you this. February 25th, 2018, I was QNMD with 3 SC legs. Lauren called me and she's like, you can hit an MD by conference. I'm like, no, I can't. I need other 2 SCs. And like, she's like, yes, you can. And then she called me again the day after, and she's like, so are you gonna do an MD for conference? I'm like, okay, let's do it. So we went from QNMD to NMD in 1 month. We had 2 new SC legs in 1 month, and I don't know the pay line. It was just insane. And I hit NMD with like 12K of pay line over the goal. So it was that month was insane. I didn't sleep, I didn't wash dishes, I didn't do anything for that month. Like I talked to my husband, I'm like, so this is what is gonna happen. If you have something you wanna fight about, write it down, and we're gonna talk about it on April the 1st. Like, it's not gonna happen this month, okay? Not gonna happen. So that was one thing. Anyway, what was I saying? I'm sorry. So, okay, know your numbers. Lauren was calling me every day and asked me, what exactly do we need? What do we still need? What do we still need? Like twice a day. That's what you need, because this is business. And it's cool and it's fun and it's personal relationships and whatever, but you need numbers, okay? So this is the first thing. Second thing, okay, there are 3 really. One I told you already. Make sure that the people you love, your family, your support network, know what you're doing and know what to expect from you and know how to support you. Because sometimes people just don't know how to support you. Like in the case of my ex-husband, when I said like, I really want to hit an MD by April, and I was stressed, okay? That month I was stressed, I'm gonna tell you. He was like, hey, don't worry. If you don't hit it by April, you're gonna hit it another time. I'm like, that's not the way to support. That's not what we're gonna do here, okay? That's not what I need from you. But he didn't know. So sometimes people try to support you their own way. So make sure that they know what you need from them. And I'm talking about your friends, your family, your upline, whatever. Tell them what you need, okay? Last thing is, don't allow yourself to have excuses, because you're gonna find excuses. I mean, sometimes you don't even need to look for them, okay? You just like have plenty on your hands. So just don't allow yourself to have excuses and remind yourself your priorities. I'm just gonna tell you a little story here about Q School, but not the one where we met, the year before that. Because when we met, I was an MD advisor, but the year before I was SSC and I went to Q School, to the Roberto Cortese Q School. So it was like, they called me 1 week before Q School. I was living in New York, Q School is in Memphis. And they called me and they're like, are you going to be at Q School? Where they were inviting me to Q School. And I'm like, oh my God, of course I'm going. Of course I'm going. And Lauren called me. She's like, you have to go. I'm like, Lauren, it's not even a conversation. Like, of course I'm going. There's no way I'm going to miss this. But reality was, my then husband had just had surgery. He was out of his job for 10 weeks. We were broke, like bad. The flights were super expensive because it was last minute. So I was there trying to figure out how to do it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check out trains and buses. I'm gonna get there somehow. And I was on the couch with my laptop, like trying to find a solution to go. And my husband was like, oh, you can just drive there. I'm like, you're right. And he's like, no, I was joking. I'm like, no, that's a good idea. That's actually a plan. So I jumped on my car and I drove 20 hours each way, 20 hours there and 20 hours back by myself, but I got to Q School, okay? And that changed my business. You never know what's gonna change your business. So just don't give yourself excuses. You know what you need to do. If you don't want to go to conference, you know you need to, okay? Let's be serious. So don't give yourself excuses, because they are all excuses.
Yes, well, there you go. Mic drop right there. Well, we can always, you're right, we can always find a reason to not do the things that we know that we want to do and that we should do. But once we start doing them, what I found is the more you really want to do it, you have some success and you're like, oh my God, I want to do this again. And so everything that you just said was just so spot on, and you're just such really an amazing leader. And yeah, like it's just, your story has always blown me away. And I don't know if it was you, Harina, or you, Pravinder, but I remember after your speech, like we were all just like hair blown back. We didn't have green hair, but we had hair that was blown back. And it was just absolutely amazing. And so, yeah, I'm just so appreciative to have you on this line and, you know, just really pouring into us. So does anybody else have any specific questions or comments or anything that really struck a chord about what Silvia said? Don't be shy. You guys are not shy. Come on. Really? Heidi Biggs? Really?
I do. Silvia, of all the NMD speeches, yours was the most memorable for me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
From beginning to end. And it wasn't just the green hair. It was just the content, you know, of your speech, which was really motivating, inspiring, all the hardship and what kept your engine kind of going and how you did that. Like it was like I was listening to a really great storyteller. So, you know, it was really, really great. Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. That means so much to me. I left the stage and I didn't even know what I said because I was freaking out so bad. But thank you.
And I take it back. Maybe it wasn't Harina or Pravinder, but you were there, Vina. So I have a feeling it was probably you. But I just remember distinctly one of my team members just really, like, it really just stood out. And I guess that was you, Vina.
Hey, Silvia, this is Heidi. I do have a question for you, actually. So when it comes to team camaraderie and being far away from your team, how do you manage that and how do you create that conscious connection within your team?
Okay, so this is what I like, the question that I get a lot, and it's funny for me because my one of my biggest issues is what to do when I have people close to me because I'm so not used to it. Like I always group team like long distance, so when I have someone close to me, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with them here? So what I do is I always use group chats, and that's what I still do because I have people all over Italy. We have group chats where we talk every day, like every day. I have all of my team in there, of course, all of my Italian speaking team, and then I have another one for my English speaking team. But it's so easy. Like it's really the easiest thing, the most simple thing you can think of. But we have this chat and everyone feel like they know each other and everyone feel like they're part of the community. So that has been the most simple thing that has ensured me to have that strong community. Something else we do, but especially in months when we're like pushing for some promotion or for something, we do power hours, we call them. Basically, we jump on Zoom 1 hour every day, and everyone just work and they do their actions. Like we don't even talk sometimes. It's just like sitting around the same table and working together, and everyone feel like they know each other. So I never thought about long distance as a problem, and it has never been a problem. If you have team close to you and team long distance, what I would do would be to make like a group chat. You can use Boxer or whatever with all of them. Even the one you have close to you, they all have to feel part of the same community. So have a group chat with all of them. And then, of course, doing Zoom calls, team calls. Sometimes we also just do like Zoom hangouts. So we just meet on Zoom and like, I don't know, do aperitivo, which is a toast before dinner for us, and just chat and for like half an hour and see how everyone is doing and not talk about business. It's just really about building community. And right now we have so many tools we can use with social media and technology that is really easy. Does that help? Because I'm not sure if, like, it's really easier than what it looks like.
Yeah. You just really, I mean, I know I need new team. I have Boxer chats, you know, with all of my team on there. And Noelle, who asked you a question earlier, is the only person. My whole team were invited to this call, and she's the only one that showed up. So it's evident. I need new team.
And run with those who want to run. You know, if they're not on the call, fine. You can just promote the call, but you can't want them for them. You can't want it for them. So if they're not on the call, probably it's not a priority for them right now, and that's fine, and you're gonna love them anyway and leave the light on, as Cheryl says, but you can't want it for them.
Mm-hmm. It's great advice. It's really wonderful advice. And I love what you were saying about a hangout. So locally, we haven't done this actually in probably 6-8 weeks, but we like to get together as a team and do like a breakfast or whatever. And it's not really centered around Juice Plus. It's just really about hanging out. And I do think that that's something that we need to do more often.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of doing a hangout, because even though some of us are local, I mean, last weekend I was gone, this weekend I was gone, you know, like there's always something going on. But it's such a great way to connect with your team, because it's so important. You know, those relationships are just so, so important. And I really feel with my team, and I'm sure you do with your team, that they're family. You know, you get to know them in such an intimate way. And maybe you're not always close. There's times, peaks and seasons, you know, that you're more close than others. But it's a family, and it's a collective mindset of people that really want to help people. And so when you talk about also like you having something that you guys daily that you do, for us as a team, if we have a new customer, it's a pow. If we have a new team member, it's a boom. Sometimes we'll say, you know, just certain things will come up, or somebody will do an event and they'll post some pictures. Is there any specific content that you use with your team? Do you have like, you know, Monday motivation or?
Not really, to be honest. Like, I think it's a good idea, but we never did anything as structured. Like, we know that on Tuesday we have our training call, but that's really the only weekly thing we do. Or we do like weekly webinars for prospects, we do that, but we don't have anything like structured internally for us. On the chat, we just like really everyone, like new people come up with the questions, or of course we welcome new people. We celebrate every time someone has a customer or a team member. So the chat is always like with like, you know, celebrations and like we have a customer, so we do that, but it's not structured. It's just like conversation flowing.
Okay, I love that. Okay, so we're on the right track, team. And then, so when you're like, say that, do you have any of your teams besides English versus not English speaking? Do you have like your leaders in a separate group for any particular reason? Okay.
Yeah, I have my leaders in a separate group just because, you know, sometimes you need to have those quick communications. And also when you talk about like big numbers or stuff like that, new people could be scared about like, okay, what are we doing here? You know, some people feel also the pressure of saying, okay, I'm talking to my SSC and I'm like, okay, so we're doing 20K this month. A new person probably is not ready to hear that conversation. So yes, I have a group with my leaders. And then like sometimes I will have a group with like everyone who wants to hit VF, or we do like single chats of like for particular goals that we have. Or sometimes I will do a chat for everyone who's trying to hit club for the first time. So it really depends on the moment we're having.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That's so helpful, because, you know, just being in leadership, sometimes you just don't know exactly what to do. And my upline, although, you know, Chris, she's amazing. Obviously she's got 7,000 distributors, so she's doing something, right? She doesn't do anything like Boxer groups or social media groups or anything like that. So I feel like I'm just trying to like find my way, you know, with the team helping, you know, help me find our way.
That's what you do. It's something you learn while you do it at any level. Like, no, I think no one of the leaders exactly know what they're doing. They're just trying. No one really, like, there's not an instruction manual or something, right? And what's going to work for you, maybe it's not working for someone else. So you have to figure out your own way. Just remember that it's a business made of relationships. So just remember to treat it as relationships and to treat it as a business. That's all you need to know. And then you're going to make mistakes, and there's nothing that's going to prevent you from it. So just go with it.
It's true. I've definitely, you know, made some mistakes in the business, and yeah, you just have to either apologize to yourself or the other person and figure out the next best way to move along with it. And yeah.
And remember, there isn't the wrong thing that you can say to the right person.
True.
So you never really have the power to screw it up. Okay, remember this. Like, you can do it not in the best way, but if it's the right person, it's still gonna be there. Okay, so
I love that.
you can make some mistakes, but you don't have that power.
Awesome. So does anybody have any more questions or comments? Anything for Silvia?
So you're like the queen of social media as far as how you built your business, because I watched your NMD speech and I was like, what the hell? How did she do that? Like, just being on social media, sometimes I become completely overwhelmed because everybody's commenting, and from what I've heard, you're supposed to go after those people that comment. Well, sometimes I'm at work in the hospital, I'm like, oh, sweet, Johnny Blue commented, I need to get back to him. And then you get home and you're like, I should have done something today. What was I supposed to do? Like, how do you tackle that? Do you tackle it right away? Do you make a list? Like, there's got to be some sort of system.
I write it down and I use alarms on my phone, because if it's 4 and I tell you I'm gonna message you at 6, by 6 it's completely gone. Like, there is no trace in my mind of what I said. Okay, so I put alarms on my phone with your name. So that when it goes on, I'm like, all right. And that's what I do. I just like plan the work ahead. I don't have a problem to tell people, hey, I'm doing something, I'm gonna message you in 2 hours. Or like, it's not like they if they comment you now or they message you now, you have the right to have a life. Mm-hmm. So you feel comfortable saying, I'm not available right now, I'm doing something, but I can message you later. Is this time good for you? So make appointments. Okay. Otherwise it gets so overwhelming. Like, especially having a time difference for me, I would wake up in the morning with like 60 messages. If you don't plan that, it's like, how am I even gonna do that? So just plan ahead, make appointments, and go with it.
Okay, thank you.
And it is overwhelming sometimes. By the way, like, I built on social media, but I suffer with some social anxiety. So every time, like, not many people know this, but honestly, every time I get a message, I freak out before opening it. So that's true. Like, some people, just yesterday, I think, a friend of mine, she's in the business, she's a crossline, I've been knowing her for 3 years. She's like, you know, it's different for you. You love talking to people. I'm like, I freak out every time I get a message, like every single time. There's not one time that I'm like, oh, cool, a message. No, I'm like, oh my God, what does she want from me? Every time. So just push through.
I love it.
I have a question, Leah.
Yeah.
Silvia, you know, when you were speaking about using the verbiage, the GoPro type of verbiage, I sometimes get the feeling that a lot of people use that type of verbiage, and as soon as you say that, they think that you're up to something. They're gonna sell you something, and so they shut the door really quickly. And sometimes when you get that over and over and over and over again, it's hard. And you think, well, is this verbiage being overused now, right? Is everybody kind of, all these other MLMs, are they all using the same verbiage? So now everybody's tuning out.
I don't think so. I think it's all about how you do it. Like, if you really make it about the person you're speaking to, they're gonna feel it. Like, I got approached with MLM businesses like tens of times before saying yes to Juice Plus. And I always said no before even taking a look. Like, it was always, nope, it's one of those things. And then my friend came to me and she's like, hey, she used the GoPro verbiage, but she was like, I'm really loving this. I'm like, oh, okay, so tell me more. And she was like, I think you would love it too. And I just decided to listen to her. And she used the same verbiage, but she just made it about me, about why I would love it. And I felt that. So I don't think it's about the verbiage. If I can give you like a little piece of advice, don't be always looking for the new tool, the new verbiage, the new trick. It's not about that. There is no magical words that you can use. There is no magical secret. It's just like making it about others and doing it a ton of times. It's about numbers. So I feel like so many times it happens also in my team, and they're like, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, we should try that. Hey, we should try that. I'm like, you know what? Great. Like, if you feel that verbiage works for you, great. But just go and talk to 40 people. Like, that's really it. You know, sometimes we really use our time in a non-productive way. Always ask yourself what I'm doing. Is what I'm doing making me money, making me earn money or not? And if I'm here looking for the new verbiage and I'm not talking to people, that is not producing any income.
Well said. Spoken from a true leader. Does anybody have any more comments or questions?
I do, but it's totally not on subject. Can everybody bring their faces online so I can take a picture of this thing?
Just if you send it to me.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Rita and Ashlyn, we need to see your mugs.
Okay.
Oh, I see your forehead.
Yeah, it's dark here.
It's all right. Foreheads work.
Okay.
Rita, you coming on? What are you in like a dark room? All right. Well, this is what. Okay, I'm gonna tell you when to smile, girls and boy. Oh, there's Frida! Yay! Oh, and boy. Hi, Steve-O. Okay, everybody smile. Got it.
I took a screenshot too.
Awesome.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Silvia, for your time. Thanks for inviting us on your call. Really appreciate it. It's always so inspiring to hear how people move through everything with this business. So
Thank you guys for having me. Like, I hope I could add some value, and I hope I said something like helpful to you. But thank you really for having me and listening to my story. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Silvia.
Yeah, you really brought it tonight, and I knew that you would. And you know, I think it's been 3 months. You've been so busy, and I've been a little busy that we didn't connect. But it was like originally 3 months ago. I'm like, I want Silvia on the call because she's amazing. And I just knew that you would really speak to myself and then to the team. And I'm so glad that we have Heidi Noel on. I think that's really awesome that you guys are on as well. And I just honor my team for being on. Some of you guys have had long days with children in and out of the house. In Canada, it's 9:44, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning in Newfoundland. So I just really honor you guys and appreciate you guys and just love you guys all so much. I'm just so grateful. So have a wonderful week, and we'll see the pals and the booms.
Grazie.
Oh, prego. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Silvia.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.